Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yes, sir. Happy Friday. Bam, bam, bam. You made it. It's Friday. You're watching the Schaub Show. Welcome to Schaub World, a.k.a. Big Brown Breakdown, a.k.a. the Schaub Show. What's poppin', fam? Welcome to the Real Housewives of the UFC. God, MMA is popping these days. That's why we're doing extra shows, man. There's so much to get into. Always something going on. Always something going on. Where do we start today? You got a fight night this Saturday. It's atrocious. It's a bad card. It is what it is. They all can't be, oh my God, someone's getting kidnapped. Oh, this is just a test.
Shut up.
Jesus Christ. Oh, those are my CT results. Yep, I got it. Okay. Yep.
The results are atrocious.
The results are atrocious. They didn't have to do that on my phone, though. Yeah, man. So you get that fight night. Listen, it's not great, but it's sandwiched in between. I told you guys, it's a shit sandwich. So you got great Wonder Bread last week with the UFC in Seattle, one of the best cards of the year. It's going to be tough to beat. And then shit. And then next week at UFC 327 Miami, which is so litty. I cannot wait. Here's what's going to be tough about that is next week I'm working the bare knuckle game bread fights in the Dominican Republic. But that's on Friday night, so I should be able to watch on Saturday night, but I will be out of the country. So that's where it gets a little dicey. That card is so tasty. We'll get into UFC 327 Miami all next week. I cannot wait to get into that. But this weekend, you have your shit sandwich fight night. At least you got Chris Duncan, who's the actual savage, fighting your main event against Moicano. Fun fighter. To me, this is basically them being like, yeah, Moicano's a name. He's done great work. Here's this killer in Chris Duncan. He's trying to take your aura. That's what this is. Chris Duncan's an awful matchup for Moicano. I don't know what the DraftKings odds are, Chin. Do you have those? I'd assume Chris Duncan's pretty sizable favorite in that. And Duncan's from, he's minus 175. I figure he'd be a minus 200. That seems fair. Duncan's from Scotland? Is that right? Yep. Is it Scotland? That's right. I love you, always have. That's my...
Was that your Scottish?
Yeah, that's it.
What the fuck was that?
I'm bad at accents. But yeah, Chris Duncan's an absolute savage. Jamaican. Yeah, it was. I love you all the time. Yeah, so shout out to Chris Duncan, Moicano. That card is absolutely terrible. Ewing Rafael is a fun one in the bantamweight division. God, that card is tough. That card is tough, but it's all good, baby. It's all good because you got UFC 327. Let's get in the Real Housewives of the UFC drama. You had Nate Diaz go on my good buddy Theo Von's podcast, and he was throwing shade. This is what Nate Diaz does these days. It's kind of a shtick at this point. Everybody sucks. That guy ain't shit. I'm the real BMF. I think for some people it works. Like some, people are like, oh, fuck yeah, man. Fuck those guys, It's his thing and it's working. He's making money, so I don't hate on him for any of that. The issue is these guys that he's talking shit about is if you know anything about the sport of mixed martial arts, every guy he talks shit about is a better fighter and has a better career. So that's why he's going for those guys, He's just barking up the wrong tree when he talks shit to Daniel Cormier. You're talking about MMA royalty. Now, some of you that are new to the sport will be like, Nate Diaz is royalty. He's not. He's famous, but there's a difference between being famous and accomplished. So Nate Diaz had a good career. He just so you're aware, he will never make it to the Hall of Fame as an individual fighter. Now, maybe his fight against one of his previous opponents, maybe the Conor McGregor fight. He might have a fight make the Hall of Fame, but as far as him as individual accomplishments, he won't make the UFC Hall of Fame. That's just not real. That will never happen. I don't know if that's news to you guys, but he won't. But he's still, a marquee figure in the sport, and now he's making his money elsewhere. But to talk shit to DC is just it's just such a bad look. And I think his thing is, and a lot of fighters take it personal. That's why they throw shade my way. I never get mad. That's what I do for a living. So for him, he's like, oh, these analysts, breaking down fights. I don't get it. Fuck these guys. It's like, yeah, but they're not criticizing you. Like, it's literally their job they're getting paid for, dude. So I think he takes it personal, and that's where I have no issues with Nate. Truth be told, I have zero issues with him. If I saw him, I would be on guard, ready to go, which I welcome any of that. But I would just be like, I don't get where we got off on the wrong foot. I don't get why there's an issue between us.
Where did it start from?
It originally started when I worked for Showtime. My paid job was to sell the fans, especially the casuals, that Conor McGregor has a shot to beat Floyd Mayweather. That was my paid gig. So I went around ESPN, all this stuff, trying to prove that Conor at least could land punches and win some rounds. That was my job. And then when I get done working the fight, I'm walking the back, it's all boxing heads. And boxing heads really don't fuck with MMA guys, especially UFC guys. So I felt so out of place, and I see Nate Diaz. I'm like, oh, UFC alumni. So I go up to him like, bro, how about that? And he starts talking shit. Yeah, your boy got his ass whooped. I'm like, my boy? Yeah, your boy got his ass whooped. You know shit about boxing. And they starts talking shit. I'm like, oh, you think, and I think because he had his issues with Conor, like, you think I'm like all team Conor. Like, I'm team UFC here, dude. My job was the reason they hired me is to represent the UFC, which you're part of. Like, I'm trying to grow this with this audience. So that's what happened there.
If anyone's going to be Team Conor, shouldn't it be the guy who Conor put so much money in his wallet?
But also, wouldn't it be a better look for you if Conor went out there and let's say he knocked him out? Mm-hmm. Like, wouldn't you be rooting for the guy who's from our sport that you fought, lost to, and beat if he went out there and beat the greatest boxer of all time?
Makes you look good.
It makes you look great. So that caught me off guard. And then since then, he'll throw shade all the time. Like when Carwin, I got emotional about Carwin having CTE, which, man, read the room. That your brother ain't crushing it, Bubba, and you ain't far behind. It's, when you hear yourself talk. So it's like, man, I feel for him. I'm with you, brother. I want him to do great. I'm glad he's making this money. But play the clip here, Chin.
Why are you analyst now, Mr. Know-It-All? Talking about negative about what I should have done when I made more money than you ever made in your whole career. You're a great wrestler, DC. You can't fight for shit. Nate Diaz's record sucks. I'm like, you cried.
You can pause it. It's just off. And I wish Theo was more educated on DC's career to rebuttal some of that. But it's like, oh, why are you an analyst now? Well, I think DC's 43. Is he 43, 44? Why are you an analyst now? You're talking about one of the biggest gig in combat sports next to Joe Rogan and John Anik.
He's 47.
He's 47, dude. Why are you an analyst now? Buddy, there's nothing more sad when a guy's over the hill and has to fight Jake Paul and do this other shenanigans to make their money, to make their nut. There's nothing more sad than that. When a guy's over the hill, and it's not that Nate can't compete, but he's definitely out of his prime. He's 40, so he's completely out of his prime. Nate Diaz has no other option than to do these kind of other lane fights, the Jake Pauls, the Mike Perry on MVP, some of this other shenanigans. Like, there's no other option. And you don't think DC could do that? You don't think DC could retire, get out of his contract and fight Francis or do some wild shit in MVP? Of course he can. Nate, he doesn't have to. He has a job he can do till he's 70 on the biggest platform in the world. He's one of the biggest faces of the world because he's very articulate, he's smart, knows the fighting game better than most, and can speak really well.
He's an eloquent speaker.
That's not an option for Nate, guys. And it's not even an option for me. I talk for a living, but I'm no DC. I'm not Joe. I'm not Anik. It's very hard to do what DC's doing. But I just don't get why Nate's going, you critique these fighters. It's his job, dude. It's his job. And then also when he goes, that's why he has an issue with crying. Like when he came at me, it was, you're crying. When he came at DC, you're crying. Yeah, and I know you come from Sacramento. It's this rough hood and all that. So I think to him, he thinks crying is like a sign of weakness, which maybe the area he's from, I guess. But do you realize DC was crying because he lost a world title? Because he put his heart and his soul into that fight, and it didn't go his way because he lost to the greatest fighter of all time. So the reason he's crying is because his dreams were to be the best, and he was a champion. He was a champion in the UFC. He was a champion in Strikeforce. He's rare airman. He was an Olympian. So he worked his entire career to become this champion, and his goal was to beat Jon Jones, and it didn't work out for him. And to DC's point is like, if Nate Diaz cared as much about fighting as DC did, maybe he could relate more to that. If he had the career DC did, because DC only, again, lost twice. To Stipe, arguably the best heavyweight of all time. And then to Jon Jones, the very, very best fighter of all time. Twice. So losing to him isn't as frequent as it is to Nate Diaz. You lost, 14 times, 17 times, a lot. So it's probably not, it doesn't sting as much. DC doesn't lose, man. So when he loses, it's a big fucking deal. It's just, it's, I get the marketing, I get the world we live in now, where it's like, him talking shit about Charles Oliveira, myself, DC, Max Holloway, these other great fighters. I'm not calling myself a great fighter. I'm just saying others as far as Charles and Max and DC. It will do the rounds, but you have to be so uneducated on the sport to take it serious. Now, there's some young kids like, fuck yeah, Nate Diaz would fuck DC up. That's such a bad take. It's such a bad take. Let me see DC's rebuttal here.
No, Nate, I've always respected Nate for what he did. I'm a lot of things, guys. But one thing I'm not is nobody. When did it become okay for men to start calling each other out their name like that? That's not cool, man. But I'm nobody's. And to say I'm not a fighter is just, I don't get it. Because again, I feel like I was actually pretty fair to this dude. Nate Diaz was fun. Nate Diaz got to a championship opportunity. But if I'm not a fighter, what'd that make him? But the reality is, the one thing we will not do is compare myself to Nate Diaz because it's different level.
There's no comparison.
Much different.
You got?
Yeah.
I'm a champion, 2 weight classes. I lost 3 times in my career. 4, if you count the fight that was called a no contest. We're not in the same stratosphere in terms of fighters. I'm doing my job. I'm not going to disrespect nobody, and I'm not going to sit up there and just get disrespected by these dudes. But to call me a name like that, say the boy ain't did what the boy did. Look, we's going to pull up a whole bunch of videos and run a highlight reel of what I did in my career. And in those pictures, going to be a lot of belts and a lot of championships. I fought the best. Nate, here's the deal. I ain't got a problem with you. When I see you, hey, I'm going to tip my hat off to you. If you want to say something to me, come up to me. Tell me. Tell me what the issue is. We can discuss it. Like men.
Yeah, I'm with DC. I don't get the issue. But he also might live in that world where he needs the chaos in order to thrive. And also, to be frank, what else is he going to talk about?
Yeah. And
if you have Nate Diaz on a podcast for whatever he was, an hour, 2 hours, what else is he really going to talk about? So this great content gets clips. Take him talking shit out of it, like to all these fighters. What do you have?
He said it perfect. He's like, Nate's fun, right? Like they're not the same stratosphere. Like
no.
And I think Nate's great, and he's always been such a fun watch. But like DC is the Dodgers, Nate is the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not. They're
And
fun.
the Savannah Bananas, I'll go to a game.
Yeah.
Actually, if it's in town, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking see the Savannah Bananas. And I'm not saying that he's like a bad or not in a great fighter
compared to DC.
But
it's
if
not,
you're
not seeing
caliber,
high quality fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, what Nate Diaz has done is insane, dude.
But Nate's where he is.
To be 17-14 and he's making more money than most guys, champions in the UFC. Like, dude, kudos to him, and he figured that out.
Also, I mean, to talk about the crying thing, like, but he's not. People forget that, like, that rivalry up to that fight, that was a storybook ending that DC wanted, and it also was one of the most heated rivalries in MMA history.
They hate each other to this day.
Like, they literally fist fought at the press conference where they ended up on top of each other. Like, there's, besides a couple, maybe Conor and Khabib, like, it's in the top 3 of biggest.
Easily.
So there's a lot of emotions going into that. So to lose your storybook ending to the guy who you ended up fist fighting in the press conference, they were talking about spitting in each other's faces leading up to the fight.
Killing each other. Yeah, it was crazy.
Like, there was a lot of emotion going into that.
Yeah, he's 21-13. Has a loss to Jake Paul. Again, there's no Hall of Fame for this guy, and you're talking a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. This would be like fucking Shedeur Sanders talking shit to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows football is like, that's how Shedeur gets clicks, man.
Yeah, it's not even like comparing Mahomes to Brady.
No, because they both champions. Mm-hmm. But again,
thrives in the pissing people off, and that's how he makes his money, by pissing people off and being like the badass guy. He's not going to sell these Mike Perry fights if he's going into podcasts and being like,
I get that. That's why I don't fault him for any of it. Like, this is, what else you going to do on there? It gets the views, it gets the clicks, people get excited. His particular fan base, this is what they expect.
he could play the heel, you could say.
Yeah.
He knows how to play the heel right.
Yeah, and here's my thing. I don't take any of it personal. Mm-hmm. Neither should DC, I mean, I think you do got to stick up for yourself, especially if you're DC. Calling him a bitch and all this stuff. You're like, well, hold on. But like, I don't think Charles or Max are going to engage in this. Like, it's just Nate being Nate.
No.
It's kind of like, it's all good. And it's working too, because hopefully people tune in the event. He makes more money than God. Some of the stuff he said on there, do you have it on there, Chin, where he's talked about the UFC offer more money than Netflix? I just find that hard to believe.
You don't believe
I'm not calling him a liar. I'm just, man, I'd love to see it. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine, unless Netflix isn't paying him much. But when I did Companion Room, he's like, I heard he's making more than $10 million. There's no way the UFC offered Nate
10 mil.
Well, if saying more than 10 million, let's say 15 million. There's just there's no way.
That means you're not offering Jon Jones that much more to fight on the white card.
Yeah.
If you're still going to pretend that you weren't inviting Jon Jones to the white card.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. Now, maybe I'm not calling Nate a liar. I'd like to see it. I don't know. But again, people call Nate dumb, stupid. I don't think he's that dumb, because he's playing this pretty fucking good. Like, he's making the rounds now. Because if he didn't come on there and talk all this shit, if he's just talking about how he's going to beat up Mike Perry, we really don't give a fuck. To be honest, you're like, okay, that's what fighters do. But him going after all these guys, talking about the pay, it's pretty calculated. It's pretty smart. And then with fans were hitting up, oh, you're going to address the Nate Diaz stuff. He called you gay on Theo's, and Theo didn't say anything to defend you. And I was like, oh, God, here we go again. And I saw the clip. I'm like, that ain't bad. That ain't shit. And Theo killed it with comedy. And then Nate also goes, I'm just playing.
I think he's just fucking around.
Yeah.
He's just goofing.
I expected way worse. I don't take any of it personal,
Yeah.
Because he's like, Theo, how'd you get the name the Rat King? He goes, oh, Brendan Schaub gave me that name. We used to do a show. He goes, Brendan still gay? I'm just playing, man. Theo's like, I don't think so. His wife told me he's not.
He's like, I've never been with him.
It's funny. Yeah, I don't. That stuff doesn't bother me. I think Nate's selling the fight. Do you, young man? Get your bag, dude.
Yeah,
and it's working. I don't have an issue with it.
Because before this podcast, when was the last time you heard just him talking about anything? You know what I mean?
Nothing.
He knows how to put asses in seats. No matter what you want to say bad about him, the guy knows how to get eyes on him and get asses in the seats.
Especially if it's mixed martial arts. Like, his fight against Jorge didn't sell well. That's why he didn't get paid, or Jorge, they got screwed, man. They
didn't
screwed.
get paid?
No, they got screwed. There's a lawsuit with that Trilla, I think. It didn't sell well. The views didn't do well on pay-per-view. I think because that's boxing. Jake Paul's going to sell well, of course. He lost to Jake, which the UFC was pretty pissed at, I heard. And then when it's MMA, Mike Perry, I think fans are going to be more down for that.
Are you buying that he actually lost to Jake? Or do you feel like there's a lot of people say there was some shenanigans?
What do you mean? You think it's fake?
Like, how do you feel about Jake versus Mike Tyson? Do you feel like there's
that one's suspect with Nate? Here, this is my thing with Jake.
Because I thought Nate, I thought he was gonna not knock Jake out, but just like Nate's good at just like for the way you put it, volume punch. But like he's able to I thought he could have outpointed Jake, but I'm not as good a boxing head.
No, so this is my thing here. When people are like, "Oh, Jake Paul's fights are fake" and all this, and Tyron Woodley took a fall, and Ben Askren and all this stuff. That buck stops with if you're a Nate Diaz fan. So let me get this straight. You think MVP Jake Paul went up to Nate like, "Hey, we have a fight for you, but you got to lose." You think Nate Diaz with his brand was like, "Okay, but it has to be by decision." It's like that's when that's when I was like, they're not all fake. Like, trust me, Jake.
What about Tyson?
Tyson, different story.
Okay.
Tyson, that one out of all of them, and I think that's what did Jake a disservice is like, well, now this just adds fuel to the fire because that one was pretty scripted. Something was going on there. But with Woodley, Ben Askren, Nate Diaz especially,
Woodley
Anderson
took a
Silva.
fall, but it was on his face, a knockout. That was that's the fall he took.
Who's gonna be like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, let me knock you out
laced.
face first, and then you're gonna be a meme for the rest of your career, and people are gonna forget what you did in the UFC. No one's agreeing to that. And also, Woodley, he would never, dude, never. That's not fucking real. But also, just goes to show you that it's not fake. Nate would, dude. Again, say what you want about Nate, but he is a fighter's fight. He's a real fucking fighter. His brand is basically fuck the man. I'm here to fight, here to scrap. I'll fight anywhere, anytime, whatever it is, 707 till I die, where the fucking zip code is. There's no way his team, and he would have told us. I guarantee you, but he can't help himself. He would have been like, dude, these motherfuckers asked me about take a fall. Like, dude, trust me. And MVP knows this. They would never go to Nate Diaz camp like, hey man, we're down, but you got to take a fall in the 11th round. He would never.
That's fair.
Never. That's how you know it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. That fight.
Mm-hmm. But the Tyson, you're still.
Tyson was suspect. What else you got, Jen?
I do think with Tyson, though, by the way, I think we'll see the truth when he fights Floyd Mayweather. Let's see how that
I think it's going to be worse.
Really?
Yeah, that's more of a scam than Jake and Tyson.
Yeah?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Two guys in the sport, two guys that are 50 years old, doing it just for bags. Like, that's...
You think it's going to be a true exhibition?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a glorified sparring match. Worse than Jake.
Yeah.
You see, the opponents want the right opponents, and I want to fight best of the best. They want me to fight Conor McGregor right now. He got knocked out, which was horrible, because Poirier, the fucking sorry little bitch. I want to fight motherfucking BMF motherfucker who's claiming my belt, Charles Oliveira. Go back to talk to them about it, and they're all ready for me to come back and fight Conor. I'm like, whoa. I'm not trying to go kill off Conor when he's on his last dying fucking leg. Yeah, literally. That's fucked up. I ain't trying to finish this dude off. And at the same time, I ain't trying to get fucked up by nobody who just got knocked out on his ass and broke his leg all the time. Now he's nothing but motivated to fight me. And I'm probably going to give him a fucking BMF belt, fucking bitch-ass Oliveira. Okay, we want you to come back, and then maybe later we'll do that. I'm like, okay, well, close to the same amount offer for Mike Perry. I'm a lot more enthusiastic to train for this motherfucker who's going to knock me out, or I'm going to knock his ass out. And I'm hunting Jake Paul's motherfucking ass. Me and Conor will fight again when the time is right. I'm not nobody's comeback story. I want to go back to the UFC.
I thought you were like, fuck this guy.
No. I just the Conor stuff. It's like, Nate's a prize fighter at this point, so he's gonna go where the bag is. So that's why he fought Jake Paul in boxing. That's why he fought Jorge Masvidal in boxing. Even though he didn't get the bag, he thought he was. He's fighting Mike Perry because the bag, right? It's on MVP Netflix is the bag. Conor made his career, dude. So that we all know, like, that's the biggest fight.
Yeah, that's
It just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't want to fight that guy, you know, coming off loss. Like, buddy, you lost to Jake Paul. And then, you know, before that, your UFC exit, you lost to Leon Edwards. Ain't none of y'all on some win streak. You know, it's like, I can understand Nate's argument if he was 4-0, crushing dudes outside the UFC, and he's on this win streak. Like, I ain't trying to fight a guy who keeps losing. Let's have him get one, see how he looks, then I'll do it. Fair point. Y'all both losing these days.
Do you think
and it's literally the biggest fight everyone wants to see? That's why it's hard to believe the UFC made the same offer as Netflix.
Do you think what he's trying to say is like the UFC wants to feed Conor McGregor someone to bolster Conor McGregor, and I don't want to be either the bolster or the guy that like just ruins this whole big hype after all this time? Because he probably has some respect for Conor after all this time.
He has respect, but he has more respect for his bank account and taking care of his family. So it's like, if he thought Conor was an easy fighter, if he was on his last leg, he would take that fight because it would pay the most, and it's his easiest fight if he actually thought that. So it doesn't add up.
Yeah, because I was taking that as he's like, I don't want to, because I almost took that as he's put a lot of money. Conor's, bolstered his career a lot. You know?
My God.
Like him beating Conor was such a
put him at
pivotal moment in his
another
career.
Stratosphere.
Yeah.
And they're 1-1. So it makes sense. The issue Nate has is if he were to lose to Mike Perry and Conor were to lose to Max Holloway, let's say, what do you do? Is the UFC gonna be like, this is damaged goods? And then you come back, you're getting nowhere near the bag you thought you were going to get. So I think there's a lot of pressure on both of them to win if they're going to do that trilogy in the UFC.
Is there a world where Mike Perry can beat Nate, you think?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Big time.
See, if I'm putting my money, I'm going, as much as I like Mike Perry, I just feel like, I don't know if he's going to be able to bang with Nate.
Did you watch Nate versus Jake?
Yeah, but that was just boxing. You know?
That's kind of his thing.
Yeah, I think once they get to the ground, though, Mike's pretty fucked.
If he goes to the ground.
Yeah.
How's Nate going to get him down?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I would side with Mike in that fight. But again, I would never bet on the fight because Mike's been doing his thing in bare knuckle. The distance is different. Nate's very good in the clinch. He's bigger. And then jiu-jitsu, if it were to go to the ground, that's a different issue. But Nate's older, man. and Mike's been fighting a lot better competition and getting by, and he has this belief in himself now. I would side towards Mike in that fight because he's more active. He's beat younger, better guys.
I guess if I'm going to be like the devil's advocate of it, it would be the fact that Mike is great at lacing people and knocking them down. And Nate is like, remember that thing when you were a kid that it had sand at the bottom of it?
Yeah.
And no matter how many times you punch it, it always comes. He's so hard to not, like, he doesn't get knocked out.
He's 40.
You think that could change?
Yes.
Yeah?
That can change. Now, does it happen in the Mike Perry fight? I don't know. Mike hits like a fucking Mack truck. The other thing is I think when you look at the odds, and Mike's this, I think, minus 240 favorite, you're also basing it off of Mike Perry's evolution or growth in bare knuckle. This isn't bare knuckle, Like Mike Perry was an average MMA fighter.
Yeah.
1-2, lost 3, 1-1, lost 2, 1-2, lost 1. So it's like his MMA career was like this. He's always fun and exciting. So I think the odds makers are basing this off his growth in bare knuckle. So that's why I would never bet on the fight. I don't know. I would side with Mike. He's younger. Seen how Jake looked against against Jake Paul. That was a few red flags for me. I would side towards Mike. What?
Is Nate a bigger guy?
He's taller.
Yeah. But not heavy. Are they heavier? Is he heavier?
But Mike's like stocky.
No official weight since
170. Okay.
he's probably like 180, 175 walking around.
I mean, I don't see either of them getting knocked down. even. I don't know. Man.
I bet Mike knocks him down.
You think so? Yeah.
And he was 184 for Jake Paul.
What does Mike fight at?
155 was it?
Yeah.
Oh no, 170 I think.
It's an intriguing fight, though.
I think that's, no offense to Ronda and Gina, but that's
a better fight.
the best fight on the card. Because Francis, I think, is going to just level.
Yeah.
Okay, 170.
So you're going back damn near fucking 5 years ago. You got to see what Mike Perry weighs in bare knuckle.
It says 185 now.
Yeah.
185? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He got bigger.
Yeah, he's bigger. So UFC, he fought at 55, fought at 70.
Is there a USADA for MVP?
That's where it gets
Have they
dicey
even brought
because
that up?
because it's California State Commission, who are
Okay.
usually pretty strict. But there's no USADA. But there is testing, but it might be the day before. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Oops, spelled it wrong.
But yeah, Mike Perry and Nate is a better fight than Ronda Gina.
It's my favorite fight on the card.
It's a great fight. What else you got, Jen?
All right, here's another clip from Theo's podcast with our boy.
Did they let that Chris kid talk at all?
I didn't watch the podcast, so I don't know. I heard him chime in on some of the clips though. But check this out. This is his breakdown of the Leon Edwards fight.
Do you have any regret for not going after him?
I did go after
But you pointed after you rocked him.
Let's clear it up. Put that fight on. Put on and write that part. I'll show you. People don't understand. They just like to make that the narrative of what happened.
Yeah, thanks, Nate.
But don't forget, let's take into consideration that this is 23 minutes of fighting in. Okay, and let me tell you beforehand, my eyes right here, and right here, like after a certain amount of time, I had sweat in my eyes. Hold on, pause it. I had sweat in my eyes, so I could see him. I could see him all completely clear.
By sweaty
But,
means
like,
blood.
my eyes
From
were
the punches that
all
Leon
sweated
landed.
out, and I couldn't see his eyes. 24 minutes in, though. I'm not some fucking energetic first minute of the fight. I'm chasing this fool. Get off me.
Yeah, he was going after him.
But initially, when I socked his ass, I couldn't see that. They went like that. Like,
Thought he just had
and
to
I'm
do
like, oh, he is fucked up.
I don't remember that either.
It's
He was going,
entertaining.
I don't remember it lasting that long either.
I do.
After that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sweat or blood from getting punched in the face. You know, he got really. The narrative on that fight is, oh, Nate almost had him. Again, if you watch the sport a lot, you're like, Nate got his ass whooped for 4.5 rounds. Nate caught him. He didn't do anything for 4.5 rounds. Caught him with that one punch. And then narrative's like, oh man, Nate would have had him. It's like he was getting beat up the entire fight, man.
I mean, he basically did the equivalent of what he did to Kamaru, where 4.5 rounds he's getting
Correct.
his shit rocked.
Yeah, he almost got Kamaru.
Then laced him hard once,
Yep.
but Kamaru was,
Leon
was able to finish it. I do think he played too much after that punch,
That's what he does.
you know?
Yeah. What's it? Theo Von asked Nate Diaz,
Just,
does Nate
yeah.
get mad?
Hold on, I'll let you watch. So this is Theo Vaughn asking Nate Diaz. Well, kind of asking about CTE.
CTE, does it feel like a real thing to you guys? Is that something, do you think that fighting has affected the way that you're able to think?
When you do comedy, does CTE fuck with you? You see my kind of comments out. They give me a CT every time. Man, I'm hot.
Oh, they do? Oh, I didn't even know that.
Why?
Because you guys have taken a lot of punches in your life, you know,
Like
like,
football too. I remember when I fucking would hit helmets with people and have a headache all night.
Dude, I
I'm
had a
like
headache for
fucking 12
years playing
old.
football.
What did they say? I don't know what the question was about CT. I just started thinking about it. What did you say? Did it affect me? My CT's kicking in.
I think that answers it, bro.
I think that answers it, bro. Yeah, I think with Nate, you know, a lot of it, he's high as shit all the time, smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the punches and fights ain't helping nothing. You know, it doesn't make you sharper. I know
Sure,
that.
there's some synergy between the two.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
What I want to know is, I never got a chance to watch that video you sent me of Wilder.
Oh my God. Dude, no, I love Deontay
I had a
Wilder.
crazy day with comedy yesterday, and I didn't get a
That's my
chance to
guy,
watch it.
Deontay. This interview, dude, when you want to talk about TMI, too much information, buddy, you're on Piers Morgan. This is
Oh, is that where this is?
Yeah. This is information about whether it's your ex or not. And I know they ended on bad terms. Hey, bud, too much info. You haven't
it that
seen this
bad?
at all?
No.
Get ready for this.
All right.
Tried to set me up, to have the baby. She ejected my sperm in her and ran in the bathroom and locked the door. And that's how we had her.
Really?
Yeah. Truth be told, she don't even know I know this.
Wow.
But I'm telling it on to the world.
How do you know that?
I'm smart. When we was having sex, when I used to come on her stomach. I used to fold my towel nicely by the bed.
Fair.
Because I would want to wipe it off of her stomach. This particular time, she chose that she wanted to have a baby by me because I was the best thing that ever came into her life. Most of her relationships only last for 2 months or whatever because she was a promiscuous woman. I didn't know it at the time. I only found out this thing by reading her journal. She didn't know that I read her journal either. So during that time, I did what I do. I had a good nut, and I nutted on her stomach. This time, I went and got the towel and tried to wipe it off, but she hit my hand so hard, I thought she hit my hand like a home run, like a baseball player do a baseball bat.
His face is perfect. What the fuck is he talking about?
So I nutted on her stomach. That's where I nut usually. I'd be nutting on her stomach, and then she grabbed my hand like a baseball bat.
What was the question?
Oh, because his daughter has a condition. And he's like, how's that affect you? He's like, well, and then just went on that tyrant.
Dude, I'm also, I'm not, I won't call myself a smart guy by any means, but I'm pretty sure that's not how you get a girl pregnant.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
he said he injected she injected into her. So like if she has some sort of syringe, just fucking took it and probably, I don't know.
He was like, I always nut on her stomach.
Yeah,
and then this how it went. She stopped my hand, said no, like a baseball glove bat, and then went to the bathroom, locked herself in the bathroom. It's like,
she took the sperm and she injected it in her body.
I'll take people shitting on me for asking this question, but I thought once it hits the air, it was dead.
No, girls they'll grab a condom.
They'll grab the condom within the condom and slurp it out. That's why Drake would put hot sauce in his condom after he's done.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
this is all bro science, but yeah, I don't. It
Are you
seems
sure it doesn't
hard.
die when it hits the air?
No, it doesn't
I
die.
don't think so, man. Nah, man. It's a horrible thing.
We can go ahead and
But,
chat.
I'm with you because that's a horrible take, but I'm with you, right? It's such a bro meathead thing, but I enjoy that. I like it, but no, it doesn't instantly hit the ear.
I thought it was like blood where it turns red when it.
Well, no, because think about when you
Hits the
jack
air.
off to like IVF and stuff like that, when you got to donate sperm.
Oh, yeah.
Is it when it comes out they still
Wow,
take
I
it?
really just asked the dumbest question.
It's all good. Baby. There's no dumb questions, just dumb people. Sperm can live up to 5 days.
5 days.
Hold up. Sperm usually dies within minutes as the semen dries out.
Yeah, but I mean, still, that's minutes.
It says sperm needs a warm, moist environment to stay alive, like an asshole.
Oh, I feel like a fucking
It says if you're
buffoon
asking
right
because
now.
pregnancy concerns, feel free to ask more. There are a few edge cases worth knowing.
In case you have a dumb guy on a podcast.
Yo, if you're asking because pregnancy concerns, you probably shouldn't be having kids. Yeah, Deontay Wilder's wild for that, dude.
Yeah.
I bet his ex is like, what the fuck?
Even his daughter one day is gonna be like, "Hey, you didn't have to do that."
Yeah, that's a tough
Here's his
one.
face is perfect.
Did you know he fights Saturday? Chisora. Like that's a fun fight, but no one's talking about it. Nick's face. Yeah. Why do you say it was a good nut on her stomach?
While wearing a suit on the news.
Oh, I know. Piers Morgan's like, interesting. Chisora's like, how's this selling the fight? But we're talking about it. Now you know he has a fight. It works.
Yeah, now you know how he likes to come.
I get it.
I know too much now.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, the fact that he has to talk about coming to sell a boxing match is not a great sign for boxing.
You know, Deontay Wilder, yeah, it's that whole, it's tough. All of it's tough. But also, his baby girl, you know, with her condition, she sees that down the road. It's like, fuck, dude, that's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope she can understand it.
And he's like, and I also stole her diary, read that. She didn't know about that.
Why are you telling us this?
Bro.
He even said, like, I usually like to lay down the towel right beforehand. I'm like,
I know.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
I don't need to, now I'm
So
picturing this.
y'all know my favorite place nut is on the stomach, right? No. What else you got, Jen?
You guys have never done the towel thing though?
What do you mean?
Like put it on top of the bed because when you're done, it's all like fucking.
No,
Never mind, man.
No, what I like to do, because to me it's very funny the way if you do come on a girl's stomach, how they react like they got shot by an actual gun, like they just go, ugh.
Yeah.
And then you got to run and get the towel, and they're just laying there like, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't pre-prepare things, you know? I'm not fucking Dexter before I have sex with a girl. Why is there plastic down? Just in case. Things a little out of hand.
It gets messy.
It is my birthday.
Daniel Cormier was talking about how on the video games you get paid royalties by how many times they actually play you in the game.
Dude, that's why I felt bad when Colby's like, yeah, I don't get paid for this. I'm like, no one's picking Colby.
I was about to say, that might be with the new video game because I was a bonus character. I was like in the bonus package because I got into it with EA Sports at the time. And so, like, my kids wanted to play with me, right? So you can get me on the EA Sports game. And yeah, I've never got royalty checks either.
No?
But I was also like, I think in version 1 or 2, so I don't think they did royalty checks then. At least that's what I tell myself. Or I just had bad agents at the time who they're collecting the royalty checks.
Maybe.
Like, Brendan, we owe you $7.
Dude, I picked you so many times.
Yes, so many times. What else you got, Jen?
Okay. So this is about the revival of the Muhammad Ali Act, and it got passed to a certain stage where it's going to hit. Let me see here. So it's going to be going to the Senate, and these guys are breaking it down from Inside Boxing and Uncrowned. Here we go.
Muhammad Ali Revival Act is one step closer to becoming the law of the land.
They explicitly say they're coming to take over. They're coming to make a monopoly. Let's change the rules so it's not what we're doing is not actually illegal. It's so on the nose.
If Zuffa has their way in the next 10, 20 years, this will be the only law. This will be the law of the land. There will be no options. There will be no other promotions. You will have to sign with Zuffa and follow their rules. That's why I didn't quite understand some of the media members out there that are saying that this isn't that big of a deal. The Muhammad Ali Revival Act is one step closer to becoming the law of the land.
Yeah, but they're basically trying to make boxing what MMA is. Like, to say MMA, the UFC don't have monopoly is hilarious. So they're getting to boxing, and you got to be a little wary of it because UFC's like, yeah, we're just going to, this model worked.
They said it's better, but
we're just going to bring it over to boxing. But, this correlates with it, is people are like, I can't believe Conor Ben got $15 million. Don't be mad at Conor. That's the state of boxing. And the reason why he can get $15 million is because there's different organizations that he makes them compete for his skills. So that's because boxing's not a monopoly. So if you, like Canelo, notice Canelo, when he was Showtime, I think if he was HBO, if he's with whoever it is, Netflix, notice he only signed like 1 or 2 fight deals. That was to maximize his money. He never signed long-term fights ever. Like, you'll see, like, Poatan signed 8-fight deal. Canelo would never do an 8-fight deal. No. 1 fight, 2 fight, and then whoever's going to pay me the most, I'm going to make you guys negotiate for me. I'll go there because it's not monopoly. So by them, then UFC having this influence in the White House with Trump, they're going to make sure this gets passed. So then the UFC is just going to take their business model and bring it over to boxing, which this is a dicey area because yes, boxing could use some form of kind of alignment so it's not all over the place, and also so you get the best fighting the best when we want it, not way past the prime. But at the same time too, that means less money overall for the fighters.
Yeah, I remember thinking back then, like, oh, they signed six fight deal. It's like, oh, fuck yeah, that's awesome. We have 6 fights. But once you start getting
it's
huge,
not good. Yeah, it's not good. Like, think about it. To correlate it to to MMA. Let's say PFL was huge, One Championship was just as big, and Ryzen was just as big. KSW, all just as big as the UFC, and Poatan was a free agent. Think how much more money he would. I think they said he's getting $10 million a fight, dude. If you had all those shopping for him, trying to negotiate for him, he's making so much more money. And then say he was like, nope, only doing one fight. He's getting 15 mil to fight KSW, and then that expires. He's a champ over there, gets that belt, and then he's a free agent. And then he's like, yo, I just got the KSW belt. What's up, UFC? Like, dude, we need that. Here's 20 million. Then he comes to the UFC, gets their belt. Now he's a KSW UFC champ, and he's on a one-fight deal. And then One Championship's like, dude, double champ at heavyweight, we'll pay 30 million. And then that's how these guys make their bank. That's what Canelo did.
And it's probably more incentive for that organization that he's the champion of. Let's just say it's...
You want to keep him.
Yeah, because you don't want your belt in another organization.
You want to keep him. Now with Poatan, like say his deal was up, think of the state of MMA right now. His deal's up. UFC goes, cool, man. Shop yourself around. Go ahead. Who's going to pay you? Who's the competition? That's why it's a monopoly.
Yeah.
Who's your competition? There's none. They got rid of everybody.
Also, the UFC cannot afford to lose having him as one of the faces of the brand.
But then also, on the other hand of that, the UFC's also earned that because they displayed and put on the best product possible, the best fighters possible, and also got the TV right deals to make them mainstream. So there's that argument too. Like, yeah, I know it's less pay for the fighters, but it's also kind of the way to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah. UFC is almost like a monopoly in the sense that Amazon's a monopoly, where they've just done business so much better. They get things more efficient to you. Like it's on the other companies that they are not able to match what Amazon does.
Correct.
It's not like it's that type of.
And now UFC is so far ahead of every other promotion that there's no competition. So you're gonna sign that 8-fight deal, that 6-fight deal, because you have nowhere else to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's good and bad. What's this, Chin?
This is an athlete from RAF. What's her name? Something Kennedy? Kennedy Blades. And she's showing this news anchor a suplex. And I'll just show you what happens.
Oh.
She's going to show me her signature move. It's called
That's a 5-point throw.
Try this. Yeah. All right. How does this work? Okay. What do I do? I'm so nervous. Okay. It's okay. Okay. Breathe. All right. Here we go.
She's all, ow.
Amazing. I don't think I can be a wrestler. All right. I think I'm going to stay out of...
They're all laughing at her. She took it like a champ, though. And if you see what Kennedy Blades did, she didn't do it on her head. She did it to the side,
Yeah,
so it was shoulder, head. It
The
wasn't
form
all
was
neck.
perfect.
The form was
It's called a suplex in
Correct.
wrestling, and it's perfect form.
perfect for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And especially she took care of her. I know it looks bad to the common eye, but she actually landed on her side, not straight. She didn't spike her on her neck.
No, because that's a 5-point throw. In wrestling, over the head 5-point, and then it's all based on where the throw is.
And that's what Armin did to Giorgio, right?
I don't know if this was a 5 or a 3-point throw.
I thought it was 5.
Was it 5? I didn't get to see the final score of the match.
Me neither.
But I know that
Look at the news anchors.
'cause he didn't, what's crazy, he didn't even really, I wouldn't even call it a takedown what he got. It was kind of like a duck under, get behind to a throw.
To a throw, yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, now they're announcing that Armin's fighting Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
Is that
Why
real?
Uriah Faber sign up for that?
I was scared
At least it's
to-
boxing.
I was
mean, at least
scared
it's
to
wrestling.
trust anything that came out yesterday. Because
That
I
was
sent
all
you
lo-
that dumb one.
Yeah, that one got you.
It's so hard with Twitter nowadays because there's so many things of like breaking fight, and some people actually make such good art that it's believable
Well,
sometimes.
do you remember when Ariel and he was like, it was on April Fool's, and it just was when Tony Ferguson slipped and busted his
Yeah,
knee
that was
and
so
out
shitty.
of the Khabib fight, and he had to tweet out, he goes, guys, this isn't April Fool's, this is
That
real.
was on April Fool's Day?
Tony Ferguson's out of the fight. Everyone was like, oh, bullshit, April. That was legit.
I
He's
didn't
like,
know that was on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, he was like, it was on April Fool's. He's like, for reals, he's out of the fight. UFC bad boy Armin Sarukian making quick turnaround, wrestles Uriah Faber at RAF 8 in Philly.
Philadelphia.
I like this match.
Yeah, I mean, I love Uriah Faber. That's a tough one for Uriah. But also for Sarukian, it's like he just can't get enough, dude. There's never been a bigger come up, man.
Yeah, man. And now I want to see him versus Colby. Like I want that's the one time I actually want to see Colby is wrestling.
Yeah, he lost to Uriah lost to Henry Cejudo at RAF.
Tech fall, yeah. What RAF is doing is it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. No one's been able to figure out that type of wrestling to make it mainstream, and they're fucking doing it. Armin's kind of the face of it, so it's perfect timing. You just hope the UFC keeps allowing Armin to do this, even when he's champion. That could get a little dicey. But with their current payouts of the antitrust lawsuit, I think they're kind of like, they are subcontract. We got to let them do their thing. So I think they're going to allow them to keep doing it. I just don't think the UFC is going to allow, like, say Ilya was like, dude, this RAF is sick. I want to wrestle Armin. That's when the UFC would step in. Like, well, hold up. You're not going to do our champion versus the number one contender in wrestling. That's where they're going to step on their toes. But I think RAF is being smart about this, and they're playing the game.
They're playing it cool.
They're playing cool.
Because I would
like
love...
you could do. I think you could do Armin versus Colby because 2 different weight classes. Colby's kind of on the outskirts. I think they'd be cool with that. But if you start seeing, like if they're like, oh, we have Hamzat versus Islam, UFC like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Do you think they would allow Hamzat to go against someone like Kyle Dake, where Kyle Dake is going to destroy?
They would allow that.
He would destroy Hamzat in straight wrestling.
Yeah, I think they would allow that.
Kyle Dake's my GOAT. That's when it comes to wrestling. That's my GOAT right there.
Savage.
He's so like. It's just a shame that him and he just chose the wrong weight class. Yeah, But I do think him against any UFC high tier wrestler, he's tech falling.
Dog walk him.
Yeah,
dog walk. But I think that's good for people to see, and I think that brings more eyeballs to the sport. And I think it brings more respect because people really don't know. They really don't. Those high level fucking freestyle, those Americans, buddy, you have no fucking clue. Like everyone's hanging off the Dagestani's nuts in wrestling, buddy. Put our top Americans against
our high school champion, Bo Bassett, beat an Olympian.
Yeah.
An Olympian.
That's my thing. And like, I wish Callan understood this. Like, he wants to hang off, most of the majority of the fan base wants to hang off Dagestani wrestling nuts. They're good, and that's their thing in MMA. When it comes to real freestyle wrestling, America, I don't know who needs to hear this, dog walks them.
And they're lucky that they don't do folk style in other countries because it would just be USA every single year.
We dominate, man. But I think once, again, and this is why I love RF.
I will say though, Iran.
Once more Americans start realizing how dominant we are, how skilled we are, it's the same as like basketball or American football. We dominate, dude. Dominate. Baseball, Venezuela do the thing, but I'm just saying in general, we dominate. I think once Americans realize how good we are, they're going to get on board, and RAF is doing that.
Yeah, we're always in the top 3 dogs, whether it's always going to be us, Iran, Russia, obviously Russia. Russia's great. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, that's because USA, like, your kids are wrestling now, right?
Yeah.
They're learning folk style.
Yep.
We don't learn freestyle until later on.
Correct.
And that's if you do that on your own time.
Yep.
And we're still the best. You know what I mean? So for us to not even do, like, Russians are doing wrestling in elementary school.
Of course.
Like, that's what
it's
they're
like
training.
Part of the curriculum.
Yeah. That's how good Americans are at wrestling, where we don't even do that forever. And then we learn your rule set and then still beat you.
The best.
And it's also cool as shit to see wrestling finally get some credit.
Getting their due. I know. It's the best.
This is Alexander Volkanovski at the House.
He looks so bored.
I guess they're doing something called the Parliament Friends of MMA to help MMA grow in Australia. So he was attending the question time.
Looks like a custody battle.
And then you'll see what happens after.
Make sure.
Before I call the member for Kooyong, I have a few acknowledgements to do today for guests in the gallery. I'm pleased to inform the House that present in the front row of the gallery today are the hardworking firefighters from the great state of Victoria joining us today. I'm also pleased to inform the House that in the gallery today is Mr. Alex Volkavensko, the current and two-time UFC featherweight champion and the first Australian-born fighter to win a UFC title. We have members of the...
He didn't get a big applause because they don't know what the fuck he said. Buddy, does that guy live under a rock?
Does he know that?
Volkanovski, I mean, name a bigger celebrity in Australia. What the fuck are you doing, dude?
That's Cooking with Volk.
What? Come on.
Cooking channel, UFC star.
God.
Come on, dude.
Come on.
Also, Volkanowsko.
No, it wasn't even
Volk. There was no Volk in that. It was just that's me pronouncing his name. Jesus Christ. But I'm at the Speaker of the House in Australia. Like, get your shit together, dude.
Yeah. Well, it was funny at least.
I wish I could have saw his face as that happened.
I'm sure there's probably like an angle somewhere.
If he would have got it right, Alexander Volkanovski, the crowd would be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You got it so wrong. They're like, who?
This was an interesting one. I don't know how this happens, but Casey O'Neill, on the last fight that she was in Seattle, she found out after the fight she had 2 left gloves.
What?
Yeah, she was wearing 2 left-handed gloves.
Yeah, when you put it's not the end of the world. I can see how she still won. When you put them, you always have to like look at them. It's usually the thumb you can tell. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it's a little skinnier on this side, but the
Oh, I thought there was like actual thumb cutout or something.
I mean, there's a it goes over, so then there's no thumb. It's just like this thing here. Then you have the wrap there.
I think your glove saying CFU is a pretty good tell.
Facts.
Unfortunately,
homegirl stole her shine because we've been talking about this knockout was fantastic.
Yeah.
Alexa Grasso did such a fucking crazy job.
Oh, yeah.
We're not talking about her.
Let's talk about that real quick. Have you ever watched this guy's channel, Dr. Suter?
I sure don't, Chin.
He talks about what happened to Macey Barber because this is what I was waiting for, to hear like an explanation.
From the subsequent choke on the cells in the carotid, affecting blood pressure, reducing blood supply to the brain. Then she woke up because of coming back out of the concussion, was trying to fight. Then a few seconds later, the blood pressure effects hit her, causing her to vagal and pass out. So in this moment, when she's laying here and she's just staring blindly, I don't think she's having a seizure, right? She's not making any abnormal movements. I don't think she is in this stage like affected by the brain injury directly. I think this is because of a vagal response from the choke. Now, yes, these two things happen in such close succession of one another, so there's probably some degree of an overlap, but you would not expect somebody to go limp unconscious from a hit, suddenly come to, and then go back limp again, unless you had that delayed response from the effect on your parasympathetic nervous system from the choke being applied. We can see... All
right, Nick, all right, now you know.
So he's saying that it's a double...
Yeah. The concussion and then the choke. And then when the body's trying to come to, it was just too much. The way he explains it is way better. I don't know how to do it, but yeah, that's why she was out twice.
Like the vagal nerve?
Vagal nerve, yeah.
Yeah, I bet you it was just like, she's probably kind of in like shock in a sense, right? Like, I just got my bell rung.
And then the oxygen shut off.
Yeah.
Like you're concussed and the oxygen is shut off, so the body's just like, let's just restart for a second here.
You're probably trying to figure out what just happened to you.
Yeah, and the neurons, everything's like firing. It's a little off, So it's literally resetting your computer. It's like,
yeah, but she was out. Like it wasn't like she was like, oh fuck, she was out.
Yeah.
And then he was also saying how great the refereeing job was because it was like
it was very good.
Yeah,
yeah, very good.
And that was his last. He retired after that.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He retired?
Yeah.
He can't get a fucking sizzle reel. It's bad enough Nico Price didn't get one. You can't get one to Mike Beltran, the great Mike Beltran. He's my fave.
Yeah. He was great. No one's better though than remember Mario Yamasaki.
Ooh. But did you die?
He loved watching people die.
Yeah. I think I had Yamasaki for some fights. I forget.
Did you?
I think so. And
is there a party that goes,
oh, dude, you're like, well, better be on my P's and Q's this one.
Should we jump into fan questions?
Let's do it. All right, let's jump into some fan questions. Thank you guys so much. We get so many damn questions. This is the way it's going to work moving forward. So I'll answer, I don't know, a few on here for you guys on Friday's show. I'll answer a few of them on here, like 5 or 6 here. And then for the rest of them, I'll answer all of them on Sunday. So a lot of people, they tell me, ask, well, how do we submit questions? So one of the ways is on my IG story. Every Sunday and Wednesday, I post DM me your questions or leave comments on the latest episode. Leave your question in the comment section on the latest episode, and we see them. And all the YouTube questions will be answered on Sundays. All new fan questions, so they're not going to be repeated questions. It's all new on Sunday. So that's a new thing, all new Sunday. Eventually, we're going to do a Schaub Show Patreon where you get all 3 shows. So you get freaking, what is that, 12 shows a month, all ad-free, all the questions answered on there, and we'll be doing live streaming every Friday before the fight's on there as well. That's going to be the new Patreon. It's not up yet. Chin and Nick are working on it. I will let you guys know when that goes live. If you have any ideas of what you want to see on that Patreon, send them our way. Put them in the YouTube comments, DM me, content you want to see on there, but it will be on my new Schaub Show Patreon, which is coming soon. So let's get to the questions. Like I said, I'll answer a few on here for you guys for Friday's episode, but the majority of them will be all new and will be answered on Sunday's Q&A with your boy here. So let's get to him, Tim. What do you got? Big Carrick. Okay, this one. Okay, let's see. Here's a lot of words. All right. Hey, B, big fan. Been on board since your first episode with Stone Cold Steve Austin. A lot of people don't know that. For me to get some traction, my first guest was Stone Cold Steve Austin in Marina Del Rey. He was my neighbor.
That's sick.
That's how I got him on the show.
That's fucking sick.
He was the man. My question is, who do you think is the best guy or girl to never win the title? My answer would be Gus or Chael. P.S. Love seeing your little girl walking and getting strong as a dad to a little girl that is also going through something similar. I know it can't be easy, but with strong family and a FU world attitude, I know your girl's going to kick ass. Thanks for all the podcasts. You make my days driving around Ireland a lot easier having you in the background. Shout out to you, my man. Hope your little girl's doing well. Just stay on it. Don't listen to the doctors. Do what's right. Just do the work. She'll be walking. Keep me posted on that, brother. It's going to work out. As far as best guy or girl to never win a title, Gustafsson is a great one. So is Chael. Gustafsson's a great one because I think I'm biased because I trained with him and he was so fucking world class. It's not even funny. He was so goddamn good, especially in his prime. So I'm going to co-sign on Gustafsson, but again, I think I'm biased on that. Chael's a good one, and that was just self-sabotage in that Anderson Silva fight, how he tossed himself in that triangle. Another good one's Uriah Faber. He was a big one, real big one.
Do you count people who didn't win real like an undisputed belt if they won it? Because if they won, if it's interim, I would have to throw Dustin Poirier's name in the mix.
Yeah, I do count those interim belts for whatever reason. I still, because it is technically a belt. But yeah, Dustin Poirier definitely on that.
But if you're talking
undisputed,
then Dustin Poirier is on top of my list.
100%. Dustin Poirier. Gus Finn's my number one though, as far as talent wise, buddy. Shout out to this dude, man.
If you were in that 205 division in that era, it's so like you could have been so talented. You have DC and you have Jon Jones.
You have DC. You had Gus Finn. You had Jon Jones. Just Anthony Rumble Johnson. You just had
freaks.
Murderers row, man.
Yeah.
Murderers row. Just a different time. Stevette. .247. Scroll up though. What do you say? He's commenting of the story I posted of my girl, and he goes, "Brother, you hit the lotto because most Latinas turn into tortas as soon as they get a little comfy. Been with one 6 years." All right, I had to see that. Keep going down.
Hopefully his girl doesn't watch this show.
She's all, the fuck's a torta? All right. This dude says, what was the worst injury you saw or had happen to you or a teammate? Worst injury for me, I'm super fortunate where I didn't have too many crazy injuries. I mean, my worst injury most of the world saw is when Krokop broke my nose. I had to have reconstructive nose surgery. That one was terrible. The one that bothered me a lot is when I was getting my cauliflower ear because it hurt so bad all the time, but you have no choice. You have to keep training. And then I got I guess there's a sack over your elbow, and it kept filling up with fluid. So I legit had a B cup titty on my elbow before I fought Chris Tushisher, and I would just keep draining it. It kept filling up. I legit had a tit on my elbow, but never any bad injuries. When I went into the Ultimate Fighter, I had a torn meniscus, and the great Lauren Landau, who's the strength coach at Notre Dame football. He's like my brother, right? I was with him forever. He's Tim Tebow's a lot of guys' strength coach. He's the man. And I remember when I got called to do the Ultimate Fighter, I got the okay. I went to him. I'm like, dude, I'm ready to go, but my knee's messed up. So he's like, all right, let me see it structurally. So he's going through all of it. And I go, how bad is it? And he just looks at me. I'll never remember. He goes, does it matter? I went, what do you mean? He goes, well, if I tell you whether it's bad or good, does it matter? You're going to do the show, right? I went, yep. He goes, then who gives a fuck? Go win the show. So I went and did my thing on the show, made it to the finals. I get done. I see him. I go, so what was wrong with my knee? He goes, you have a torn meniscus. Oh, okay. That one sucked. As far as teammates, I saw GSP get a bad cut one time.
Is meniscus something that, like, because I've had shoulder come out the socket, is that something that you feel like has affected you post-career?
Because I like to run long distance. Like I ran this morning. I run miles every morning, so I don't blow up to 300 pounds. But the long distance running, because there's not that, it's like bone on bone now.
Yeah.
That can hurt, but I've had stem cells in there, which really helped. But you can get by without a meniscus.
Yeah.
Look at fucking Kamaru Usman.
That is fair.
I didn't see too many bad injuries. Guys get knocked the fuck out. I've seen big boys get knocked out. Like really famous guys get knocked out and then have to fight like a week later. And you're like, oh, that can't be good. But they figured it out. Most of them won, except for me.
Yours was that thing, right? I mean, you also broke your hand or something, but that was like an odd thing that happened.
Oh, again, where a sack burst in my cheek against Arlovsky. That's why they fucking gave the decision to him based off damage. When I broke my thumb in my second fight ever in Virginia, that sucked.
That has to be one of the most painful injuries,
Yeah,
right?
that was bad because they had the metal screw sticking out and they had to tighten them and shit. That's a good one. That was worse than my nose chin.
Shit.
This sucked. I have this big earthworm on my fucking thumb from it.
I had a finger thing. I broke a couple fingers when I was wrestling. So I have to tape it together and you basically have lobster hands.
Yeah.
So one of the wrestling coaches that we were going against, he only has this part of his hand. So he actually only has just lobster fingers.
Oh, sick.
So when I came to shake his hand, it looked like I was just mocking him.
He's all, you piece of shit. Jimbo Slice 312. I got a question for the new show, just me and Friday's show. At what age did you initially get into cars? Try to keep it all fighting. Let's do this one, then a few more, Chin. Hey, I got a question for the new show. At what age did you initially get into cars, and do you remember what it was that made you so interested in them? For me, it was my parents taking me to racetracks since I was a baby. I was hooked on racing, loud and fast cars. Thanks, man. Keep it up. What got me into cars, I have a new show on Tubi. It's Gearheads Gone Wild, 4 episodes. If you guys watch it, then you can order a bunch more, so make sure you tune in right now. It's free on Tubi. Just download the app on your freaking TV, type in Gearheads Gone Wild. We might be on the main page, but go check it out. It is a fun show if you like cars. So go watch it so they order a bunch more. As far as the car stuff, my dad would take me to the Denver Auto Show since I was a baby. We have all these pictures of me and my brother there. My dad was into cars. We had pictures of cars on our wall, so always into cars. As far as the loud stuff goes, it's a condition. Like, this is what's triggering for me. So we'll move on to fighting after this. So I bought a Ram 2500, which is the 6.7 Cummins. It's a 2024, which was like the peak time for EGRs and all the diesel restrictions. Fellas, when I say this car's quiet, Chin's lame-ass Cybertruck is louder than my truck. I was washing my truck yesterday, and my father-in-law has hard of hearing, so he has hearing aids in. I start my truck, and he goes, is that thing on? And I go, what? He goes, did you turn your truck on? I go, fuck, yeah. He goes, man, I wish my truck was that quiet. Man, I can't stand how loud my truck is. I went, oh, dude, you make me want to drive off a fucking cliff. There's nothing worse than a badass truck that's quiet. I don't know. Dude, when I tell you, it it keeps me up at night. And next week I'm doing the EGR delete, straight pipe, tune. I got a bigger turbo. That thing's gonna be fucking cooking. I'm gonna do a before and after video. And if the before you go, man, I like it before, fuck you, dude. It drives me bananas how quiet a fucking diesel 6.7 Cummins engine is in this day and age. The fucking regulations and the restrictions, that thing cannot breathe. I'll get over it after this, but this fucking got me going. Imagine this is what it'd be like having the restrictions that they've put on diesel. Imagine you have great lungs, but you have to suck air through a straw. That's my truck right now. There's no airflow. There's not enough horsepower. It can't get the oxygen it needs to thrive. It's fucking suffocating, dude. So it's very quiet.
So
you guys aren't car guys, and most of the listeners aren't either.
So saying you have a quiet truck, like basically, like, it's like calling you a sissy, basically.
100%.
Yeah.
You know how Nate Diaz gets mad when people cry?
Uh-huh.
That's how I get when you have a quiet truck.
Is it equivalent of saying you look like a cat guy?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. My truck looks like Tarzan, sounds like Jane.
Ugh.
But not next week, baby. Next week, it's fucking going out. I'm just waiting on the parts. I just put that freaking Banks cold air intake on, baby. What's up,
I remember doing
bro?
that. That's so much fun.
Yeah, I love doing it. So first thing I do. First mod I always do. I know it's amateur. It's not really cold air. I get all of it. It looks better. It sounds better. Does it improve horsepower? I don't know. I'm up 2 miles per gallon. Okay.
In this economy, you need that.
All right. Great question. NYC.in.NC. So I assume this guy moved from New York City to North Carolina. What up, B? Last night I saw that Joe Pfeiffer. Is this the recent question? Is there one below this?
There's another one. Oh, you mean that one?
No. This is it. All right,
that.
Keep going.
Is that your butt cheeks?
Yeah.
It stops right here, though, Brent.
Yeah, it works. All right, go back up, Jen. What up, B? Last night I saw that Joe Pfeiffer doesn't wrap his hands for fights. Is this safe? Is this legal? What are the pros and cons to the tactic, if true? I've also heard that. I heard of other guys not wrapping their hands. Usually guys that I knew that didn't wrap their hands were heavy grapplers because the wrap, it's real stiff and it's hard to close and make a grip. It's not that you can't, it just limits it. It limits your range of motion. So I heard of like Crone Gracie, Hodger Gracie, not that into the wraps or do thinner wraps. Joe Pfeiffer is really the only one, if it's true that he does no wraps. I don't know if he does no wraps. Can we get a picture from the fight? Do you see any white? Because I would assume they just do a thin wrap. Because I don't think it's legal to do no wrap.
I think that there was a fighter. There's another fighter that's known for not, and it's for that reason because they didn't use wraps because it made it harder to grab when they're
I've never heard of a striker not doing it.
Me neither.
If I can just see his gloves.
I'm trying to see one.
So do you see the white UFC tape?
Yeah.
On Izzy's hand?
Yeah.
See if you can get another picture of Pfeiffer's. Oh, just go here. No. Go down here, Chin. I'll be able to tell. Go down here. There we go.
Give it a sec. And
Now
this is a terrible picture, though.
No, but I'll be able to tell.
Pixelated to see.
Oh,
Right here.
he has no wraps on. Oh. So you see on the far left, there's no wraps. Yeah, he did no wraps. You don't see the official UFC tape. I didn't think it was legal, but apparently it is. I've never seen a striker do that because usually that just it makes so you don't break your hand. It actually adds like more. It makes your fist heavier. So yeah, you see his hand. That he's no wraps. That's pretty. He's raw dogging it. Pretty gangster. Usually you see it from grapplers because they want the grip to grab and do all this shit. He's the only striker I know that's done that. Good for him.
It doesn't make a lot of sense for a striker, but
it doesn't because the wrap protects you from breaking your hand. But he clearly doesn't have that issue.
Yeah.
It says yes, it's legal to fight with no hand wraps in the UFC. Wow.
Alrighty.
That's cool.
And last one on this.
Last one, and then we'll do the all new ones on Sunday for you guys. But this is the last one. We'll answer all the ones you put in the YouTube comments on Sunday's show. So again, all that's new. Won't be regurgitated. It's all new questions answered for you guys. This is Scotty TP. That's all I see on there, bub. Big Brown, not sure if you heard Nate on with Theo's podcast this past weekend. Do you agree with his take on UFC wanting him to fight Conor and his stance on not wanting to end his legacy? He wants Charles Oliveira, he says, to reign his BMF title. Oof, that'd be a bad fight for Nate. I wasn't sure what to make of it. Wanted your thoughts. Stay thick, my man. Yeah, thanks for the question, brother. Again, Nate's very good at promoting fights and getting the fights that he wants. The Conor trilogy fight is the big cash cow. So him saying, oh, Conor's on his last leg, blah, blah, blah. Nate ain't no spring chicken. That's the thing. So, and neither one of them are in win streaks. So his argument doesn't make a ton of sense there. And that fight kind of goes to shit if they both lose. Like, let's say it could happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's say Nate goes in against Mike Perry and gets starched in 30 seconds, like knocked flat for the first time in his career. And then Conor goes out against Max Holloway and gets starched. Is anyone like, man, I can't wait to see Nate and Conor again? So they'll be damaged goods. So I don't know. I don't think Nate's lying. I don't know. But the whole, I don't want to be the guy that takes Conor out and he's on his last leg. It's like, y'all both on your last leg, But that's it, kids. So I'll answer the rest of them for you guys fresh and new this Sunday. Like I said, we're going to start a Patreon very soon. Probably next week that bad boy will be up. God willing, meaning Chin and Nick get to work. And we're going to do live streaming on there. We're going to be doing any other ideas you guys have to add value to that Patreon. Again, put them in the YouTube comments, DM me, let me know. We'll get to work. But I love you guys making this show what it is. Can't thank you enough. So love you guys. Enjoy the fights this weekend as much as you can. Chris Duncan is a beast. It's worth watching against Moicano. Moicano's must-see TV as always, especially in the main event. But Chris Duncan's a tough matchup for him. That's it, man. Enjoy the fan question on Sunday. We'll see you guys Monday. We will break down UFC 327 Miami, baby. So just get through the weekend. Enjoy your Easter. Eat a bunch of Cadbury eggs for me because I can't eat them because of my teeth anymore. All right? I'm out.
I hate terrorists and electric cars.
Why are you trying to go so fast?
10,000 horsepower. Let's go.
That's it. That's the BFD there?
That's it.
BFD stands for Bigfoot's dick camshaft. Super rare Porsche.
Well, maybe you overbuilt the trans a little bit?
If you're gonna party, you can't be blowing trans. We're gonna see if we can make Brandon Schaub shit his pants.
I think that car's gonna hit him harder than he can probably hit other people.